When you say to yourself, I am alive, and that means God still has a purpose for me, you are not just repeating words, you are awakening your spirit. Life itself is a gift that many take for granted, but every heartbeat, every breath, is proof that heaven has not finished writing your story. There are days when you wake up feeling tired, uncertain, or defeated, but this single thought can lift you back into the light of purpose. Being alive means there is still something within you that the world needs. A smile, a word, an act of kindness, a spark of faith. Even when you feel small or invisible, remember that God does not waste a life. You are alive because your presence still carries meaning in someone's journey. Sometimes your purpose might not look grand or loud, it might simply be to love, to serve, or to bring peace where there is conflict. Every morning, when you affirm your life, you remind your soul that it still matters. You give yourself permission to begin again, to rise after failure, and to walk with gratitude. Many people live but forget to truly live. They survive but their hearts are numb. When you recognize the divine reason behind your existence, you awaken joy, curiosity, and courage. You begin to see challenges not as punishment but as preparation. You realize that the very fact you opened your eyes today is a message that your mission continues. Speak this line every morning with conviction and let it echo in your heart throughout the day. Let it remind you that your story is still unfolding, your purpose is still alive, and your life, no matter how ordinary it feels, is part of something sacred and eternal. When you tell yourself, I am stronger than my fears, you begin to shift the power from fear to faith. Fear is a shadow that tries to convince you that you are weak, unworthy, or incapable of facing what lies ahead. It whispers lies that paralyze the spirit and dim the light within. But strength is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep moving even when fear stands in your way. Every time you choose courage over hesitation, you weaken fear's hold and strengthen your soul. Life will always present moments that test your confidence and faith, yet in those moments, you must remember that the same God who breathed life into you also placed within you the strength to overcome. Fear is loud but faith is steady. Fear shakes, but faith anchors. When you remind yourself daily that you are stronger than your fears, you awaken that divine power that has been sleeping inside you. You stop allowing anxiety, doubt, and worry to dictate your choices. Instead, you act from a place of belief that whatever happens, you are not alone. Every challenge becomes a chance to prove your resilience. Fear wants you to forget how many times you've already survived, how many storms you've already walked through. But courage reminds you that if you made it before, you can make it again. So, each morning when you declare this truth, feel it deeply. Let it become the armor around your heart and mind, because the one who stands in faith even when trembling is already victorious. Strength is not about never feeling afraid, it's about knowing that fear will never be stronger than the faith and courage that live inside you. When you say to yourself, I am worthy of love and peace, you are affirming one of the most powerful truths about your existence. Too often, people move through life feeling unworthy, burdened by past mistakes, broken relationships, or the weight of others' opinions. But the truth is, your worth is not something that can be earned or taken away, it is woven into your very being. You were created with love, and that love continues to flow through you no matter what you have been through. To believe you are worthy of love is to open your heart to healing. It means allowing yourself to receive kindness, forgiveness, and joy without guilt. It's recognizing that even on your weakest days you are still deserving of grace. Peace, too, begins with self-acceptance. When you see your life through the lens of divine love, the chaos within begins to quiet. You stop comparing yourself to others, stop chasing approval, and start resting in who you are meant to be. Every time you repeat this affirmation, you remind your mind that you do not have to fight for validation. You are already enough. The world may try to make you doubt it, but love is not something you must qualify for. It is your natural state. When you embrace this truth, it transforms how you treat yourself and others. You begin to love without fear and forgive without bitterness. You create peace within your soul that radiates outward, calming everything around you. This affirmation is not just a comfort, it's a declaration of freedom. Freedom from shame, comparison, and self-doubt. So each morning when you whisper, I am worthy of love and peace, let it remind you that your existence itself is a reflection of divine love and eternal worth. When you tell yourself, I choose to forgive and move forward, you are making one of the most powerful and healing decisions a human heart can make. Forgiveness is not easy, it requires strength, humility, and grace. It means letting go of the pain someone caused you, not because they deserve it but because you deserve peace. Holding on to anger and resentment is like carrying a heavy stone in your heart. It weighs you down and keeps you from walking freely into your future. Forgiveness does not erase the hurt or the memory, but it transforms how that memory lives inside you. It replaces bitterness with wisdom and pain with peace. When you forgive, you choose freedom over bondage. Each morning when you affirm these words, you remind yourself that you no longer need to be chained to what is behind you. Life moves forward, and so must you. To move forward means to stop replaying the same wounds in your mind and start embracing new beginnings. It is choosing to release the power that the past has held over your emotions and decisions. Sometimes forgiveness is not just for others, it is for yourself. We all make mistakes, and carrying guilt can be just as heavy as carrying resentment. When you forgive yourself, you give your soul permission to heal, grow, and begin again. True forgiveness is a process, and every day that you choose it, your heart becomes lighter. It opens the door to peace, joy, and clarity. By forgiving, you make space for God's grace to work in your life. You stop living in reaction to pain and start living in alignment with purpose. Each time you whisper, "I choose to forgive and move forward," you declare that love, not bitterness, will guide your steps. When you say to yourself, "Today I walk by faith, not by fear," you are choosing a way of living that rises above doubt and uncertainty. Faith is the light that guides you when the road ahead is unclear. It does not mean that everything will be easy or that the answers will come right away, but it means you trust that there is a divine plan unfolding, even when you cannot see it. Fear tries to convince you that you are alone, that things will fall apart, that you are not enough. But faith whispers back, "You are held, you are guided, and you are stronger than you think." Each morning when you speak these words, you align your spirit with hope instead of worry. Walking by faith means stepping forward even when you do not know the outcome. It means believing that every challenge carries a lesson, every delay hides a blessing, and every moment has purpose. Fear will always try to build walls, but faith builds bridges. Fear limits your vision, but faith opens your eyes to possibilities beyond logic. When you choose faith, you allow God's peace to fill the spaces where anxiety once lived. You stop trying to control everything and start trusting that everything is under divine control. Each step you take in faith is an act of courage. You move forward not because you see the whole path, but because you trust the one who leads you. When you live this way, your heart stays calm even in chaos, your spirit stays strong even in trials, and your hope stays alive even in darkness. So every morning as you begin your day, remind yourself to walk by faith, not fear. Because faith does not remove obstacles, it transforms how you overcome them. Every morning when you speak words of life, faith, and courage to yourself, you are planting seeds that shape the rest of your day. What you tell yourself at the beginning of the day has the power to influence how you think, feel, and act. Words are not just sounds, they carry energy, intention, and belief. When you choose to speak positively, you are aligning your spirit with strength and gratitude instead of negativity and fear. The world will always have noise, distractions, and doubts trying to define who you are, but your words become your shield and compass. Speaking truth over yourself allows you to reclaim control over your mindset before the world can sway it. These affirmations are not mere repetitions, they are reminders of your divine identity and purpose. They build faith, confidence, and resilience within you. When you say them sincerely, your heart starts to believe what your mouth declares. That belief becomes your foundation, steady, unshaken, and rooted in grace. Every line you speak in the morning becomes a prayer, a declaration, and a promise to yourself and to God that you will walk in faith and not in fear. As the day unfolds, challenges will come, but the strength you built through your morning words will carry you through. You'll find yourself responding with calm instead of panic, with hope instead of despair. The beauty of this practice is that it transforms your ordinary mornings into sacred moments of connection between your mind, your soul, and the divine. So each day before you step out into the world, take a breath and speak life. Remind yourself of your worth, your purpose, and your strength, because when your first words are filled with faith, your entire day begins to bloom with peace and purpose.